Rolling.
Yes.
So welcome back, and we are officially calling ourselves the Gospel Girls. So, oh hey.
Hi.
So, how was your week?
Good, actually.
I mean, I guess it's only Wednesday, but
It's been good.
we've decided we are now going to try to do these once a month, and then
Yes. For now.
yeah,
We'll get into the groove.
go from there.
Yep. I guess we're claiming our little corner in YouTube.
Yes. Okay, so the last time we were in church together, it wasn't this last Sunday, but the Sunday before that.
Yep.
Do you want to tell the story, or do you want me to?
Oh, yeah! Yeah, I forgot about that! So, where were you? I was sitting in the middle with you and Dad, and then there was this really cute couple in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like getting in line
Was it communion? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And,
I was half paying attention.
Did you want to finish telling it?
It was out of the corner of my eye. I saw a flurry.
Okay, so
did you actually see?
I saw it.
Okay.
And I think I don't remember if Dad did or not, but so we're all facing the front and these people are walking back like this way back to the pews, and the guy walking just goes to the guy, this elderly man that's sitting in front of us.
Well, there were two old guys, like
was,
60s, 70s.
Yeah, and one was walking and one was sitting in front of us next to, I assume it was his wife.
I thought
she looks at him, she giggles, and then she like glances back at us, and we're just dying, and then he glances at us. And no, she goes, that's been happening. She says, that goes back to kindergarten. So it means he's been whacking him on the head since kindergarten.
Well, I thought like he did the like, hey, shake your hand. Nope.
He might have.
See,
Yeah.
like I said,
okay, so you saw that part, and all I saw was the whack.
Well, I heard the smack, and I was like, what? What just happened? There's smackage in church.
He just smacked his bald head like.
Yeah, and then like I'm going. I didn't like see it full on, so I'm shocked watching this guy walk away, and you two are laughing. So I'm like,
was
okay.
Dad laughing?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
because I'm shocked. You two are laughing, so I'm like, okay, so there was no.
I can't remember. I don't
assault
remember.
going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our story of the week, because this stuff.
Well, we do have another story that we may or may not talk about that happened today.
Oh, well, later.
Yeah.
I want to tell my other story first. So, I do delivery, and I'm not going to say for who, because I don't know. I probably will break some sort of internet rule if I say it. But anyway, so I do delivery, and every technological thing, she knows about this already, but maybe you forgot, that could have gone wrong with my phone that day, went wrong. So, like, I immediately turned on the app to try to say that I'm on duty, and the first error message I get is, oh, you've submitted your proof of identity, so you need to wait till this is approved before you can be on duty. That was the first time. Then, so I couldn't get that error message to go off, and I'm thinking, I just turned this on. I haven't verified squad. So then I had to reboot my phone, turn it back on, and then I was able to get back on the app. And then I'm in my car, and I get an offer, and then I accept my offer, and then the error message comes up again, or this, not an error message, but this message comes up again, you need to verify your identity. So I'm like, okay, I click on verify your identity, I verified my identity, and it says, okay, you're good to go. So then I get over to the place to pick up my items, and it pops up again, you need to verify your identity. So I'm like, how many times? Like, has there been something wrong that I've done that I don't know about, that they're like tracking me? So I verify my identity again. So I get in the store, and I press the button so that I can continue, and so it knows that I'm at the store, and it says there's been an error. So I get out of the app, go back in, error. Get out of the app, go back in, another error. So then the third time I do it, it says customer has canceled the order.
Oh,
after I'd already gotten to the store. So then I go back out to my car, and I'm sitting in my car, and in the meantime, I got another offer. So I go back into the store, and I do all the things, come back out to my car, got all the bags, and I unlock the car door with my key fob and go to open my door, and my car alarm starts going off. So I'm like, why? So then I hit the unlock button on my key fob. Nothing. Car alarm's still going off. So then I'm like, what am I doing? I've never
The
said
entire universe denies your identity.
No, it was targeted. Somebody in the parking lot probably has the same vehicle and is over there going, this is probably what's going on. So then I hit like every button on the fob, and it literally goes beep beep whoop, and then whoop 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 whoop, and it goes back off and then stops. So I don't know what wrinkle in time happened, but yeah, that was I haven't had any problems since then. Oh, I lied. Today when I tried to do it, my phone decided I didn't have any service, like, at the store. It completely shut me off. But anyway, so yeah, technology has not been my friend lately. But I don't know, that's the only crazy thing that's happened to me lately. How about you? Any craziness?
No. I have a very boring life.
No, you don't. You're either falling over something or...
No. No. I mean, I do have a lot of stories.
I tell you everything.
I can't tell you everything. No. We're not there yet. But, yeah. I mean, work's cool. I do logistics, so that's fun. And then I started doing the same thing she does after work, the delivery stuff. And I actually really like that. And I'm debating on whether or not I should just make that my full-time job.
Right? Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. I don't think that would be sufficient, but...
Maybe we could be the delivery gospel girls and tell people about Jesus.
Okay.
Here's your milk. Have you heard about the good news?
Oh, good Lord. I don't think that would go over well. Can you imagine the stories we could tell then?
What are those videos where the guy's like chasing a chicken and he goes, have you heard the good news about Jesus? Have you seen those?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I love those. Those are hilarious. Anyway. Okay, so back to Jesus. You dropped it. So I had an interesting conversation with a friend today. It kind of started with an Instagram post, and for their protection, I'm not going to say who it is, but they had posted some funny thing about Prince. If Prince was president, like, the world would be a better place. And this person had said something about, and then peace and tranquility would reign on earth. And there's a couple other comments, and I thought about, like, just doing the thumbs up and scrolling on because, everybody loves Prince. But I'm like, and then there would be peace and tranquility, and I'm like, but would there?
No.
I don't really think, we're all sinners from, well, depending on what you believe. Like, some people believe, you're from birth, you're a sinner, but I don't know, there's some passages in the Bible where Jesus kind of indicates that young children aren't sinners. But anyway, I digress. But so I had a problem with that, so I had to say something. I'm like, I hate to be a negative Nelly, but I just don't see it ever happening, because I don't think there's always going to be someone out there who wants to be in charge. Yeah. And doesn't really care whether you want them to be in charge or not. They've probably got the bigger gun, or the whatever. Yeah, the zombie apocalypse. Why can't I not say that word?
Apocalypse.
The zombie popsicle comes.
Yeah,
that word. And
the
and we're all on our own. The person with the bigger gun is always gonna make the rules because they've got the bigger gun or whatever. Or the person with the biggest muscles is always going to make the rules.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, because it is a survival of the fittest. I don't care. You can...
I think they were just it was a joke. The Prince.
Prince thing was a joke.
It was, but it wasn't.
The comment. Well, no. Yeah,
everyone, he was such a, from what I know, he is very peaceful, very loving, and
yeah, it was a very nice post.
Yeah,
that's.
But you are right though, because it doesn't matter who is in charge of us, whoever the president is. There's always going to be someone against them, regardless of what they stand for.
Yeah. I mean,
it's human instinct. It's human nature to fight.
It's a survival instinct too.
Yeah.
I think because, if I have to take from you because I'm starving, just on a primitive level, I'm gonna do it. Yes, there's some people that would probably like share.
Right.
But if you have it, I'm going to expect you to share it with me as well. And if you're the type of person that doesn't want to share, then we still have that problem where not everybody is loving.
Right.
Was my point. I mean, yeah, that would be great. But like even from the beginning of time, before there were governments and leaders and kings and queens, like Cain killed Abel because of jealousy. So, and he was jealous because Abel had favor with God. So right there, that says, well, there's no peace. There's just always that, I don't know, sinful nature. I don't know how else to say it. But. Yeah. So then, I don't know if you want to later. What kind of proved my point was, she ended up texting you about. Yeah, did you text? Well, I think the ladies at work were telling me.
I texted you because my coworker works at the place that this happened at, and he had told me, and then I texted my mom and my sisters, and then that's how I found out. That's why I had just told you guys, just in case you knew or didn't know, but.
So what happened was there was a violent event. We don't want to say because I don't know what has all been released to the public, and obviously families involved. We don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but there was a violent event that happened today. Unfortunately, probably a normal nowadays violent event that happens.
Not here. It's normal in big cities, I suppose. Yeah. I don't even know really. It was so weird when he told me what happened. I'm just like, really?
Well, I heard it was a road rage.
Yes,
thing.
Road rage turned deadly is pretty much what my friend said. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what do you mean deadly? That's literally me. No, but I mean, anything could be deadly. That doesn't mean the outcome was that somebody died.
Well, that's true.
So I was like, wait, what? In here in our small town?
Yeah.
What? Like, I get angry, but I don't know. It's just crazy to hear that happened. And it happened between two places that have a lot of children at the facility, like, all day, weekly.
And that person may or may not have, like, in the past been a violent person, but it just took one thing that day.
That's the thing. You never know what could have been happening to either side. I'm assuming that it was escalating on both sides. And, the person, I mean, times are kind of rough, and you never know what happens to somebody. They could that was just the tip of the iceberg.
on a brighter
switch.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
On a brighter note, when I was at Walmart the other day, just shopping, I ran across a friend who happens to be Jewish, and I kind of baited him in a conversation just because I wanted to pick his brain. Not in a bad way, but I really did. I didn't want to come out and say, so you're a Jew, what do you think? You know what I mean? What do you think about the situation in Israel? So, because that would not be okay.
You might as well just
he's my friend, so I probably could have just said that because he would have taken it, in stride. But I didn't want to say that because I just Anyway, so I was just like kind of trying to. I don't even know what I said to him. Oh, I know how it came about because it started like totally way off in left field. He was talking about his bucket list and that he's been to all of the 7 or 5 of the 7 continents. And so he asked me what's on my bucket list, and I said I've always wanted to see Jerusalem, but can't do that right now.
Oh my
and that
God.
was kind of like, yeah, that was kind of my lead in to say, and your thoughts? So, but he goes, yeah, that's probably not the best place to go right now. And what surprised me was because, like, okay, Jews believe in Jesus, but they believe he was a prophet, not the Son of God. Yeah. So, where was I going with that? Well, I'll just keep talking. I don't remember what that thought was, but I do have other things to say about that. So, I knew that he was going to have that he might have an opinion about the whole situation there, but I kind of wanted to pick his brain because he said something that interested me. He said, I'm so glad that we live in a place where we can all get along no matter what religion we are. And I was like, but do we really? And he was like shocked that I would say that. And I'm like, okay, you're a Jew, and have you seen the news about what they're doing to Jews in like New York and Chicago? I don't know if those are the places. I'm just pulling that out of my ear, but there are news articles that have said that like there was a Jewish guy that was killed, I think.
I didn't know any of this was happening either.
Oh, yeah.
Just I don't watch
the protests that were on Washington too. So anyway, so I'm kind of like having this conversation to see what he would say. And I know the reason why I brought the whole, Jews and Jesus thing was because he had said that about getting along here, and I'm like, okay, historically, obviously Jews and Christians didn't get along. And obviously I'm a Christian and he's a Jew, and we get along. So I already knew that he's a good person. But I'm just like I said, I was trying to see what his thoughts were without actually asking. And then he said something about, I don't know why we just all can't get along. And like, we always kind of go straight to the, oh, well, you're of this faith, so you hate everybody that's not that faith. And I even kind of did it to him too, because I'm like, okay, so I'm expecting you to say something negative, and he totally didn't. Like, it didn't even occur to him to be angry about it. He was more angry about the fact that we just all couldn't get along. Not like, oh, well, the Jews were there first, or, those darn Palestinians or whatever, you know what I mean? So that kind of gave me a different perspective on things, and it really wasn't what I expected to hear from him. But I guess I shouldn't say that. That just wasn't what I expected of anybody right now.
Right. Yeah. My experience lately out in the world when I do leave my house, I feel like people just in general are more hateful and angry more than ever, unless it's just my age that I'm at now and I'm just more aware. I don't know.
I think they are, and I think that's the big thing right now, that there's a lot of people that want to try and split us and pit us against each other.
I agree with your friend though. I've always, ever since I was little, I don't understand why there's a lot of people that disagree with each other, but at the end of the day, I don't understand why we can't get along.
Well, and I think we should get along, but I do know, like, there is, as a Christian, my belief is, because Jesus says, if you don't believe in me, he is the only way into heaven. So right. If you don't believe in him,
he can't save you.
Yeah. So of course,
technically he has already saved all of us. He has saved us already. We just have to say
that we accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, if I have a Muslim friend or a Jewish friend, although I think I don't know, that's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down right now, but if I have a Muslim friend or a friend who is an atheist, of course I want to see them in heaven. So I'm going to, at least open the door and see if they're willing to listen, and if they are, so be it. If not, that's fine too. But do I hate them because they're a different religion? No, because obviously if I hated them, then I'm not following what Jesus tells me to do. Because, you know, if you're listening to Jesus, he created us all, so and expects us to love one another as brothers and sisters, so that's what we're supposed to do. But on that note, I was listening to, well, I always listen to the Unashamed podcast. So there's a plug to the Unashamed podcast if you want kind of, they're way more structured and way more in-depth with their Bible study. So I totally recommend it. But they're always saying that if you don't know where to start, if you are wanting to read your Bible, or if you just want to know more about Jesus, don't start at the beginning. Don't start with the Old Testament. Start with one of the apostles. Well, I like Matthew, but they say to start with like John.
Yeah, you can start with,
because it's the easiest to understand, and it gives you kind of the full picture. So, like I said, if you're wanting to know more and you're wanting to read more, start with just the book of John, in the New Testament. But I don't know how long we've gone. I haven't timed. I should probably time at some point in time, but I guess it says on the camera, but I can't read it from here.
I can't either.
I
can't see it. Anyway, I just wanted to share one. I had made a note in church.
Yeah, because it fit.
It did, and I didn't mean for it to. But Proverbs chapter 6.
Yes, Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19.
Except I'm not going to read all of that. I'm just going to read the number 2. I don't know. It says, God hates a lying tongue. Nope, not that one. Yes, that
but he
one.
does, yes.
But that's not the one I wanted to read. Number 3, hands that shed innocent blood. God hates hands that shed innocent blood. In verse 13, the wicked man teacheth with his fingers. Because God is just, he hates when innocent people are punished and when guilty people are rewarded. Because God is just, he hates it when the innocent are imprisoned and are guilty. Oh, let me say that again. He hates it when the innocent are imprisoned and the guilty are set free. He's a just God. Is that how you say that?
Right. That's actually odd that came up, because I don't know what day was the Unashamed podcast that I listened to, but it was yesterday's. They actually kind of touched on, because there's people that are like, well, why does good things, oh my gosh,
you scared me.
Oh, sorry. No, it's just weird, because the other podcast that I listened to, the Bible in a Year podcast with Father Mike, he did the same thing. It was the same. It was the same topic. Usually there is odd parallels between my podcasts, and they're not like related at all. And they were talking about how people are like, why do good things happen to bad people? And vice versa, bad things happen to good people.
That's a very common question.
Yeah, and one was talking about, the thought is, if I'm a good person and I follow Jesus, I'm never going to have hard times. Well, that's not true, and God doesn't say that. And then the other podcast was talking about how exactly that God loves us and loves the weak and the downtrodden, and he's a just God. So yes, a lot of bad things happen to good people and to innocent babies and whatnot, but that doesn't mean like your ancestors did something bad and now you're being punished, or that you're being punished at all. It happens because we have free will. And we're also sinners. We're gonna die. It is. We don't know the time or the place that we're gonna die, but that's just the way it is. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It is usually how it works, though.
Yeah.
Especially the deeper you get in with your faith. For me, it happens a lot. I have a lot of those weird coincidences happening and all of a sudden I think that's the way that God talks to you, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
He may not speak to you, like, actually talk to you, but
he definitely shows you signs.
Yeah, and he might talk to you through other people. I think that is, yeah.
And I know, like,
I call that the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
kind of.
Mm-hmm. And that's what also makes it easier for you to talk to someone that's struggling and sometimes you just know the right thing to say.
Yeah.
And I know it's happened to you because you've mentioned it before too, but a lot of times, like, if there's something during the week that I'm like super struggling with or bothered by, I'll get to church and the pastor's like, today we're going to talk about
the exact thing you need to hear.
Yes.
And happens to me all the time.
Yes, and I'm just like,
yeah. And then one time in church, that actually happened to me, like, last summer, and just was not. I was going through, it was a really bad chapter in my life, and the pastor started talking, and we all stood up and sang. It was one of Grandma's songs, I think. I just lost it. Tears! I'm crying in the middle of church, and I'm just like,
I cry at church all the time. I swear people are just like, what is wrong with that chick? She's always crying. This is me. I cry. Okay?
Yeah. It's an emotional mess, okay?
I'm a crier.
But yeah, I got what I needed to say out, sort of.
All right. Well, that is kind of the end of our podcast, whatever this is. I don't even know, our YouTube channel.
Whatever.
For today. Hopefully we'll see you in December.
Yes.
Probably a Wednesday again. But, all right. Oh
Toodaloo.
Your children are going to come through the ceiling. Bye.
Don't tell them that. Just kidding.